Hello, everybody. Welcome to HopTopics. My name is Matt.
I'm Cameron.
This is where we talk about movies and beer.
Beer.
Today's movie is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
And our beer today is...
Fear Movie Lions by Stone Brewing.
Yes, and... yeah, so...
Welcome, and first things first, gotta take a drink.
Oop.
A little overfill there, nothing wrong with that. That is a tasty beverage.
Yes, indeed.
Alright. But, talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, expectations going into the movie?
Going into the movie, I thought... I was expecting heavy dialogue. I was expecting it to be, a basic Tarantino movie. I mean, it's... he's known for a lot of like being very specific and being very critical about everything being very crucial with time and everything. Like he's very
meticulous.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was the word I was looking for. But with the way he shoots his movies, and it shows definitely in this movie, and it's I thought it was I had high expectations for this.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I mean, I've been a big Tarantino fan for many years, and my expectations were obviously pretty dang high. Tarantino's an exceptional filmmaker, and he doesn't slow down with this one. Obviously, going from movies like The Hateful Eight and Django, you could expect high violence and also like slow dialogue-driven, slower paced scenes.
Exactly.
So, yeah, high expectations. Overall opinions, I thought the movie was pretty great.
Oh yeah, I thought it was great. I like he's very character driven when he makes his movies. So I mean, he definitely shows in this. Both the main characters are spectacular. They're like their stories are driven home every time. It's wonderful.
I mean, it is starring Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, two great actors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brad Pitt, I gotta say, a little Aldo Rainey. Like he definitely still kind of has that kind of gruff from his voice,
Yep.
Like 100 Nazi scalps. He kind of still has that sort of gruff and not the same accent, but you can definitely see where that kind of came from.
He says grazie.
Grazie. He does. There's a fair bit of Italian reference in this movie.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Oh, what was it? One of the names from Inglourious Bastards.
Margherita.
Antonio de Coco.
Yes.
Gorlami.
There's definite references to other movies and stuff,
mm-hmm.
but it's a great movie. Overall, it's wonderful.
So, without getting into any spoilers, how would you tell people what this movie's about? Yeah, I need a pause there.
That's kind of hard.
Do you need to drink on it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I were to surmise it, it's about an actor and a stunt double who are, it's initially given forth that it's a very work-related relationship. You can definitely see the obvious, best friend mannerisms between the two.
Oh, definitely.
And it's literally about, at least probably 6-7 months to a year of their lives.
It definitely it shows the 7 months. The movie takes place about 7 months for them. About there, maybe 6. But I mean, it's still...
there was a 6-month period, and then there was a time before that, and then obviously the time after they got
exactly.
back.
So I mean, it's about a 6-7 month-ish period where it's describing their dynamic and everything, explaining how everything works between them, and how they're not they're more than a brother, less than a wife.
Yeah, a line taken from the movie, which I'd say describes us pretty damn well.
Yeah, definitely does.
Yeah, I'll cheers to that one.
Yeah, cheers to that one, man. Yeah.
Anyways, synopsis. Really can't get into much.
Really can't.
Spoiling any of the movie.
Yeah, give away too much of the movie.
If you haven't seen this movie, go into it blind. Do not watch our spoiler review. Do not, talk to anybody about this movie. Just go see it.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, the less you know about the movie, the better.
Yeah,
and it is all the better for it.
It's totally
it's still
worth
a great
going
movie,
into it blind,
even
too.
if you know what's going on, but it's even better when you don't. So, that being said, what are you rating this? We going to see it? We waiting for DVD or Netflix, or are we just skipping it all together?
No, yeah, gotta see it in theaters.
I'd say for Tarantino fans, it's an absolute 100% go see that in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not a Tarantino fan, but you like good movies, still, go see this movie in theaters. It's a long run time, but it is totally worth it. The beginning pacing's a little slow, but I think by the end of the movie, you'll be happy that you sat through it and watched the whole thing. That's how I feel about it. But, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a spectacular movie. It's great. Yeah.
Alright. Cool. Let's talk about beer, man.
Beer, yeah. Beer sounds good.
What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Fear Movie Lions by Stone Brewery. And it is wonderful.
It's pretty dang good. Double IPA, clocking it at 8.5% ABV. I mean, man, this thing will get you going, if you know what I mean. Stone Brewing. We haven't talked about them yet on this channel, have we?
Not yet.
I don't think so. Stone Brewing, Escondido, California, San Diego area. Great brewery, great beer makers. They tend to focus on big, bold, like heavy expression beers.
Yep.
When they say IPA, it's going to be hoppy, it's going to be bitter, it's going to be floral. When they say double IPA, it's still going to have a lot of those characteristics where most double IPAs don't tend to have those characteristics. It's just going to be bigger and bolder.
Yep.
Their take on a double IPA is always very strong, and this is no exception to it. But it is a refreshing beverage.
Oh yeah, it's super smooth and very refreshing. I'm very happy that we chose this one for the movie.
Totally. Fear Movie Lions, I mean, FML, like this beer is... It references movies in the title. That's kind of why we picked it for this movie.
FML, man.
There are many moments in the movie that you're just like, Leo's just like FML, and Brad Pitt's just out like, F you're ill.
Pretty much,
yeah. He doesn't really have any down moments in that movie. He's pretty great throughout.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is a great beer.
But yeah, fairly malty, definitely hoppy.
Well, it's an IPA. You should expect some hoppiness.
Well, I mean, double IPAs.
Well,
so they tend to cut down on the hops to kind of balance the malts and the hops. But double IPAs, but Stone being Stone, they like to make sure that it still kind of gives you a little smack in the face, which is what I look for in a beer, at least.
Exactly.
Especially if I'm doing like a 1 or 2 or 3 and done. That's kind of what I want to have in a beer. Or 4. Yeah.
You know what's meant. You know what's meant.
Yeah, alright, whatever. Anyways. Rating the beer? How would you rate this beer?
I'm going to give it, I'm going to give 4 out of 5 Cowboy Leos.
Cowboy Leos, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go more towards the 4.5. I do love me a good double IPA. How should I rate it? I came up with something earlier. I even told you and I already forgot it. But,
yeah, sorry man, I forgot.
But, yeah. About 4.5 LSD soaked cigarettes.
Alright, there you go.
Alright, so before moving on, we like to do our cheers before the spoiler section. If you have not seen this movie, please do tune out, yeah, whatever you want to do. One of those things starts with a T.
Yeah, well,
Cheers.
spoiler warning. Cheers.
You really enjoying that beer.
I really do like this beer. It's a good beer.
It's a good beer.
Okay, so casting in this movie was spectacular.
I mean, you lead with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. You're gonna get stellar performances. Margot Robbie plays Sharon Tate.
Sharon Tate, yeah.
And then there are a couple other roles that are more undertoned roles.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it that played freaking what's his face? Oh my god, I can't remember the name. Should have freaking thought about this beforehand.
Which one? Bruce Lee, Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen. Yeah, the guy who played Steve McQueen looked like they cast everybody perfectly. He looked like the character, like they looked like the people they were playing. It was uncanny. It was insane.
It was kind of eerie. I mean, Margot Robbie kind of looked like Sharon Tate. I mean, if you've been watching a lot of movies in the last 5 to 10 years, you'll recognize Margot Robbie right away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And same thing with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like it's almost hard to see Leo playing anybody other than like being Leonardo.
Yeah, exactly.
He still does a great job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, the whole movie is based off. It's Rick Dalton character was based off of somebody who actually acted and stuff like that, and was in Lancer, which is actually an actual show. So I mean, like a couple of things were actually time based. Well, the whole movie was time based, but I mean like, Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth are not actual people.
Yeah.
But it is still a great. These two are still great characters, and you can totally tell that he spent his time and effort making everything like right time wise, and it shows perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this takes place in 1969. So, for people that don't know, 1969, year of the Manson murders,
Manson family, and everything. Manson
all
murders,
that, all that stuff, which is
Sharon Tate from Polanski house. Yes.
Yeah. And it's like slowly built up throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. It's like at first you're not really sure what this movie is about.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is going to be our full real synopsis about this movie.
Yeah.
It's following Leo and Brad as actor and stunt double through Leo's high. Mm-hmm. At the very beginning of the movie to him kind of like starting to peter out. Mm-hmm.
Being like more cameo based or more like co-star.
He's
co-star roles.
He's playing the brute, the heavy in a lot of TV shows. The guy that's supposed to get beat at the end, the bad guy, and all the while this is running, like we're getting shots of Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski and their whole crew.
Yeah, and like J.C. Bring and
yeah. So we get a lot of that, and you might be wondering at this point, like, the hell do they have to do with the plot at all?
Yeah.
And then, there's a shot of, a bunch of basically homeless hippies going and dumpster diving, like...
Damn hippies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, it started, when I saw the movie, it started to click for me.
It started to click real fast.
I'm all like, oh, that's right. And they're, like, singing this weird song. It kind of makes them immediately seem kind of culty.
Yeah, because they're all singing the same song, and it's like...
And it's in like an eerie way, too.
Yeah, it's super, super eerie, and you're not really sure how to react. If you know anything, like, date-wise, you're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But, at the same time, like, you may be fuzzy on some details, you might miss it. Totally respectable. I wasn't 100% sure when it was going on, like, if that's what was going on. If Tarantino was going to do that sort of, changing history thing that he did with Inglourious Basterds. Mm-hmm. Inglourious Basterds, he set up that Hitler dies
in the movie
way faster than he would have in, real life. Mm-hmm. And that was a great concept
Oh
for
yeah, that was
that movie.
Oh yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah. And so this movie plays out more or less the same way in that it goes on and it's like about real events, but slowly it starts twisting those real events here and there and here and there until the very end.
Like you get a scene at the Spawn Ranch and see where like all the like where the cult basically is. Like they have everything set up and they're definitely watching out for one another, and it's really eerie. Like even when you first see them like pull up to the place, it's that something's not right, and you know that it's like it's bad.
Yeah, oh absolutely. And Brad Pitt's character Cliff picks up on that real quick. You know, like he pulls in there and he's been there before. Having been a stunt double for many years, he knew the original owner of the ranch and, you know, like used to shoot TV shows there. And so immediately, like, when he starts talking to them and starting to get that vibe, so like, and like, is old George still living here? You know, and he goes to talk to him. All that time, you're wondering, like, is Brad Pitt about to die right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is this guy gonna get shot in the freaking head out of nowhere?
Exactly.
Like, because that's a very Tarantino thing to do, too.
Yeah.
Is to kill off a main character just out of freaking nowhere for no reason. So, that would have been really interesting, but instead, things just kind of play off. Brad Pitt's character kicks somebody's ass.
Yeah, which was great. It was a great part.
They slashed it.
Love beating up hippies.
It
was wonderful.
I mean, you know, never hurts to beat up a dirty hippie. But but yeah, so historically, the movie lines up to where pretty much everything is going straight on towards the big Manson murders.
Oh yeah.
And like the last, you know, probably 20, 25 minutes of the movie, they're getting back from Italy, and they're going to have them a good old time drunk.
Yep.
Which, immediately I was just all like, is this movie about us? Hey man,
are they talking about us?
Are they talking about us? Like, it seems weird.
And then they mentioned that Rick's gonna make margaritas at midnight. And I was like,
he's gonna make a whole pitcher full of margaritas at midnight.
Are they talking about us?
I was like, is that me? Am I making a pitcher full of margaritas at midnight? I mean, that's definitely something I would do.
I'd walk my dog with
an
the LSD cigarette.
You're walking around smoking an LSD cigarette. Jeez.
Yep.
But yeah, so. Initially, the hippies come up the road in this loud-ass car, and that causes Leo, who had just finished making his pitcher of margaritas, to come outside and start yelling at him, just slurring margaritas, and he's already really drunk, and in a freaking robe, too.
Yeah, in a silk robe.
He's in a silk robe, going outside. The blender pitcher, not even like a regular pitcher. It's the blender pitcher. He just literally popped it out, took it out, and just started chugging out of it, which is fantastic.
Yep.
And then, yeah, so he does that. The hippies are just like, oh, okay, no. And then they back down the street and go off at the end of the road, and then one of the guys is like,
they realize who it is, yeah.
That's Rick.
That's right.
He's the star of that show.
Jake Cahill.
Jake Cahill. He's the star of that show.
Bounty Law.
Bounty Law. Oh, I used to watch that show every morning. And then Asian hippie chick was all like, I just had this great idea. And she's totally hippieing out. It's like,
yeah, it's
vision questing and all sorts of weird.
Which is a throwback to the Manson family thing.
Yeah, obviously. She was saying that she was having a trip and that she pictured that, you know, like the people that had taught people to kill, you know, through TV and movies, would end up being killed violently. And so they decided that they're going to go back up the hill without the car and just go house to house and kill everybody, starting with Rick Dalton's house.
Yep.
And before they come back up the hill, Cliff comes back to their house with his dog, and He's preparing food. Now, mind you, he had just smoked an entire LSD cigarette. And was totally, like, just high as a kite.
Oh, dude, yeah. Dude, it was so apparent. It was hilarious.
He goes to turn on the lights. Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Turns off the light. Then just goes and starts to feed his dog. And he normally feeds his dog 2 cans of dog food and then pours a bunch of kibble over it. And the dog stays still. And dog's sitting on the couch by the door. And he starts to hear some noise after the dog starts making some commotion. And then the best sequence of events that I've almost ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it went from being like that slow Tarantino dialogue-based build-up to that full Tarantino ridiculous, somebody got killed with a katana and then somebody's dick got blown off with a shotgun and then, going to town with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch.
Yeah.
Like, that's the style of Tarantino that this movie just goes straight into.
Straight into. It was a perfect transition.
It was so great.
Spectacular.
So, hippies come in, threaten to kill everybody, and drag Leo's wife out to the living room, and Brad Pitt's high as hell. He's all like, "Hey, I recognize you. What was your name again?" The guy's like, "I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's work."
No, something stupider than that.
Great line.
It was something like Rex.
Tex, just kill him. That's it.
Tex.
And then just as Tex is about to shoot him, he just goes, and the dog just
attacks him. And it's a great. The whole series is great because the girl from the side comes at Brad Pitt and he just chucks the can of food, the dog food right in her face.
Right in her face.
You just see her face, her nose caved in.
And then
broke.
After the dog has done his number on Tex, dog immediately switches over, attacks the Asian girl.
Yep.
A redhead slips up and freaking Brad Pitt just starts smashing her face into everything nearby. Like, this chick was dead probably after like 4 or 5 hits, but man, she made sure. It was like wall, fireplace mantle, it was table, it was just everything. He could reach.
Every hard surface he could.
Yeah. And then my favorite part is the Asian chick is like all torn up. She can't see, and she flies through the back window where Leo's character, Rick, is lounging in the pool with headphones on, so he hasn't been able to hear a damn thing yet. And Rick, she comes in, crashes into the pool with a gun, and starts just shooting it in the air. And at this point, he freaks out, and he's just like, "Oh crap!" And then
he gets one of the
best callbacks to earlier in the movie when Brad Pitt comes to fix his roof antenna, and Brad Pitt walks into the shed, and you see an old flamethrower that Rick used in one of his shows. He kept it. And as soon as I saw that, I'm all like, "Oh, dude, that's getting called back for sure. That has to get called back. This is a Tarantino movie. No way he's going to pass up on using a flamethrower." And sure as shit, Leo gets out of the pool all freaked out. This crazy chick is screaming and yelling and shooting guns in the air. And Leo comes out with a flamethrower, and I guarantee people wanted to cheer in the movie because I wanted to cheer.
Oh, yeah.
I was so happy. And then he just freaking, like, torches her with a flamethrower. I was like, this is fantastic. This is so wildly Tarantino and so great. Yep. I enjoyed every single moment of that ending scene.
Oh, totally. I mean, like, the whole ending made the movie that much more spectacular. And it's just a great, like, the whole sequence was just so outlandish and just wonderful. Oh, yeah. Everything was perfect.
I mean, it went full on Tarantino, where it was just like, it was the Crazy 88 coming into the bar. It was, freaking the diner scene in Pulp Fiction. It was all sorts of things that Tarantino has done over the years. Mm-hmm. All just like in probably one of the more gory, awesome, hilarious sequences of events that you could ask for.
Yep.
And
it was wonderful.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, see it. I don't know why you watched to this point if you haven't seen it, because it's just dumb. You need to watch this movie.
Oh, definitely need to watch this
also,
movie.
you'll understand why we're wearing Hawaiian shirts. Because, yeah, why not?
Dude, yeah, Cliff was definitely my character.
Oh, dude, totally. I mean, there were elements of
both
characters in both of us, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm definitely Leo needing a ride to and from work. And also making margaritas at midnight. But I'm also Brad Pitt walking their dog smoking
LSD cigarettes.
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah, like, we related to this movie super, super hard.
Yeah, quite a bit.
But yeah, it's definitely a Tarantino movie. It's great. You need to watch this movie, but expect a lot of feet in this movie because
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not as bad as other movies.
It's pretty bad.
Okay, it's pretty bad.
There's
I mean, the hippie chick, definitely.
There was Sharon Tate's feet. There was the shot of Leo's booted feet going into the saloon as the chick walks down the stairs in her heels, walking down. There's a lot of like ankle shots, and it happens a lot. I mean, there's like a lot of the hippie chicks aren't wearing shoes, which is also
that's just hippie chicks.
That's a bunch of hippie chicks, but you still, I mean, like the hippie chick puts her feet on the window during the car ride. Yeah. So I mean, like, there's a lot. It's a Tarantino movie.
Expects feet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? You need to watch this movie. So,
absolutely, go see this movie.
Yes. And that about wraps it up.
Yeah. So, here's to you.
Here's to me.
Friends for life, we shall always be.
And if by chance we disagree,
then screw you. Here's to me. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.